The next live Q&A episode for the Slightly Serious Sign podcast is going to be January 19th for our 100th episode, and we want you to submit your questions. So go to wensco.com/Q&A and submit your questions. You can submit them like text like you did before, but now there's a section where you can submit an audio question. So record your questions, send them in, and we'll play them live on air for the podcast January 19th. And we want you there, and we want your questions. So join us January 19th by submitting your questions, wensco.com/Q&A. This episode is brought to you by Arlon Graphics, trusted for innovative high-performance cast vinyls. Check out their newest product, DPF V9500, a non-PVC polyurethane wall film built to tackle ultra-textured surfaces like a pro. More exciting new products to come soon from Arlon. Check them all out at Wensco.com. You only have sound in one headphone?
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah.
Weird. Maybe it's broken.
Are you only hearing it on the left side or the right side?
It sounds like a little bit more on the right side than the left. Maybe it's just my dominant ear. We'll go with that one.
Maybe it's
maybe
the plugs might be broken under the
I'm old.
I'll look at the plugs.
It could be a lot of things.
Do checks have a higher instance of hearing loss?
Yeah,
it could be
I'm like the only one right now that doesn't wear glasses, it would seem. So yeah, we're getting there.
It's wearing on you.
You hear that compressor all day.
Yeah, you hear all day.
Yeah, that white noise.
Well, they're ringing.
But hey,
I can't go to sleep. I got to have the compressor on.
the compressor.
As soon as you get to sleep, it's just
Yeah.
It's like you're like as you're going to bed, and they're like, "All right, you got to turn on the white noise," and you think they're turning on the fan, and then they just reach over and just press on the air compressor.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like a little sound machine, where you have rain and everything. But a text would be like compressor, printer, red light.
Totally asleep. That works.
From Grand Rapids, Michigan, it's the Slightly Serious Sign Podcast, starring Mike Hall, with his co-host Tyler Hall, and their sometime sidekick, Domingo Tobar. We invite you to join the show with today's relevant sign industry guest. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Mikey! Hey-o!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 97 of the Slightly Serious Sign podcast. Thank you guys for sticking around. We have our Q&A episode coming in, so please submit your questions. You'll probably see an email from us soon, just reminding people that it's coming and to submit your questions because Domingo wants to answer them all live, so he's really excited for it.
I'm ready. I would like to add one thing before we introduce our guest because
I have one thing to add too.
Because I just want to say that I opened up my mouth for this polar plunge and I just saw the voting. You guys are voting for the wrong person.
No, I think they're voting for the right person.
No,
it looks great.
I don't see a lot of Mike's votes. So, yeah, I'm talking to you people out there are voting for the wrong people.
We should have put a cutoff.
Or a person,
at this rate, at some point, we will hit 50 comments. We haven't hit it yet.
Good.
But at some point, we will get there because we didn't put a cutoff in. We should have just said, hey, by this date, but we never said anything. So
well, then let's make it official. It's by today.
It's by yesterday.
A little cutoff date.
But anyways, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves in a second, but I have a question to start this. So Andres and Luke here at Wensco have joined us. They'll introduce themselves in a second, but somebody asked me this question over the weekend, and I wanted to get everyone's opinion here. What do you guys classify? So we're coming up the week after Christmas, right? So hopefully you guys had a great Christmas. Your guys' was great, I'm sure, right?
Yeah,
retrospectively. What do you guys classify as a Christmas movie? Like what fits in that category?
Oh,
a Christmas movie?
Come on, the classic ones.
It'd be classic. It'd be like Rudolph the Rudolph, or
that's childlike.
So we all
Die Hard.
You're talking about a movie or a kid movie?
Die Hard is the classic.
Okay,
movie
so
if you fall asleep.
Okay, here's where it starts getting questionable, right? So Die Hard is one, right? Where there's people on both sides of the line. People are like, "Oh, for sure, Christmas movie." Not even close to a Christmas movie. Somebody over the weekend was like, "Yeah, I classify Lord of the Rings as a Christmas movie." And I went, "Under what world?" And they said, "Yeah, it came out. They all came out during Christmas. They all were released during Christmas." So they're saying it's like a tradition now for us. We watch them during Christmas.
It's got elves in it. I mean, you got to give them points for that. I don't think these people are making toys.
I did not even think about that.
I guess
that's
they're
funny.
not making toys.
You know what?
Oh, that's true.
Technically, it has elves in it. It came out during Christmas, so maybe it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah. I vote no.
I don't agree, but
Die Hard would probably be
And
the one.
Gandalf is Santa Claus?
yeah.
Okay. That
Well,
works.
yeah, they do say that like the entire movie is supposed to be like an analogy for
it fits up
the
your
Christmas-
alley because you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
those
not.
movies are great.
See, there you go.
Movies are
See,
great.
Yeah, I have no complaints.
It's
But,
like Harry Potter is a Christmas movie. It's like
Star Wars.
yeah, I don't know, but
because they have.
anyways, I just thought that was interesting. I wanted to see what you guys thought because I was like, I don't know how in the world you classify it, but now that he said there's elves in it, I'm convinced. I'm
yeah.
sold. Yep, it's definitely a Christmas movie. Yeah, I don't know who Santa Claus is in there, but we're counting it. So,
Make it fit.
We're counting it.
anyways, do you guys want to just introduce yourself, who you are,
how long you been here?
how long you
What
been
do you
here?
do? Those kind of things.
Yeah.
I'm Luke Kolarik. I'm senior tech and going on about 12, 13 years.
Okay.
I'm Andres Contreras, going on 2 years as well, doing
Okay.
installations, repairs.
Sweet.
All right.
You guys have families? Anyone else here at Wensco?
Yeah, this is a family business, and everyone knows if you look close enough at Wensco, you're going to find family. My sister is the graphic designer for Wensco. How about you? Who do you have here, Andreas?
Oh, nobody. No, if you look on the website, the HR manager is my brother. So we're all double dipping around here.
Yeah. That's what, every time someone new starts, you'd be like, okay, so who do you know?
Yeah.
Like, you got to know somebody, right? But
Yeah. It's not what
anyways.
you know; it's who you know.
yeah, that's true. So, so we wanted to bring on the techs. We talk about installation, repairs, all that stuff. We've talked about it a few times on the podcast, but we've never brought in anybody that does them. So it feels like to bring on you guys and actually talk about it is good. So, so Domingo's first question that he brought on when we were like, what should we do? This was like, what does like an ideal installation look like? What's like if one goes perfectly?
Well, before we, I want to just clarify one thing before we ask that question.
Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Wensco has their own techs. This is not a third party repair people that come out and do the repairs on. There are multiple different distributors that have a third party that will come out. You don't know who you're getting when the repair needs to be done. It could be Bob one day, and then he has to go somewhere else, and now it's Frank. And Frank has to start all over from what he did.
Yep.
That is not like our people here. We employ our techs. They go out and do the install. They are responsible. They are usually the person that comes out the second time if that needs to happen. So you're getting used to seeing a face, a name, and you get to know these people. And now we can get into that question. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that we employ our own techs all over the Midwest, and you're not going to get a third party person is what I'm saying.
So just to add to that one real quick, the other thing that's happened in the last, at least in the last year, is that more people have gone to the third party installation system instead of going the other way. And they're all actually using pretty much the same company. There's only one
Correct.
people that does it out there, which just means that like, even if they did bring on a whole bunch of people to supplement the increased demand, like they're all just new techs, right? Which we're well aware here, right? Is getting a new tech started is super difficult because all these machines are different. And to make it worse, this company needs to train on like
All of them.
7 different brands.
From a laminator to a flatbed printer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, the range is huge.
The whole workflow.
Yeah, and if you've ever had, like, let's say you need to call, I mean, you can just use a bank as an example for this. Well, actually, let's use an internet provider because it's better, right? So say you have an issue with your internet, right? And you call them and you're like, hey, here's what's wrong. Here's what's going on. Here's what I've already done. And it's still not working. Can you guys help me? And they're like, oh yeah, let me transfer you. And you're like, okay, cool. And they transfer you and they're like, okay, so what's the problem? And you'd be like,
This is what I did.
I just gave it to the chatbot 2 seconds ago. You can't just pull that script. They're like, oh no, we don't have access to that. So then you explain it again. That's what it's like when you
Oh,
are
you're
using
going to have to
these-
get another tech because I don't respond. I can't.
let
do
me
that.
transfer you again.
They transfer you again.
So
It's exactly like that.
So that is one of the other benefits. I just wanted to bring it up because I thought about it when I was having internet issues. Be like, okay, I told it to it's a chatbot that does it. How can you not use that script? Anyways, so
All right. Back
anyways,
to the
going
question.
back,
Sorry.
what do you think a perfect install looks like?
Perfect install in the tech's eyes,
there's a few things going on, and I've heard it kind of being related to like HVAC people as well, and getting that type of service request and that workflow. Perfect installs, we try basically to set up. I mean, we're calling ahead to see what type of design software they're using, the space that they're putting it into. There are electrical requirements on some of the machines, making sure the electric is set up properly. I think the bigger part is when we do an install, we actually kind of follow that machine. We're also going to be the techs that come out and work on it. Mm-hmm. We understand what you're doing and the workflow that you're trying to do and the product that you're trying to put out. So, I mean, yeah, you could have it done by somebody else, but there's no chance there's a slim chance you're going to get the same person who understands what you're doing and the product you're trying to put out. So you're almost going to have to, the person that shows up, you almost have to kind of train them on what you're trying to do and the product that you're trying to put out to kind of get things lined up. The perfect install is having everything lined up, a good space for it to go into, good power, a good computer with, Windows 10 or 11. We're not really going to do a lot with Windows 7, but when we show up and find it, we're kind of like,
You're telling me a Chromebook won't work?
A Chromebook won't work. Yeah.
It would all day, maybe.
I've seen it where you go to an install and somebody, I got a brand new computer. You look at it and it's a Chromebook. That ain't going to work.
It's an Android tablet is what it is when you show up with a keyboard on it. They're like, should this work? And be like, absolutely not. Nope, that's not going to do it.
Exactly. Or on the flip side, all their IT is done kind of like off
third party.
Yeah,
third
I think
party.
that's
So you have to, everything's locked down.
Yep.
Like you load the software, you need an administrative password. You got to call somebody. And then you're waiting. It's like, we go through an IT company in Germany. Okay. Well, then we got to wait for them to wake up.
Yeah.
So then you're kind of waiting on that. The perfect install really is having all those things lined up ahead of time and making sure that if there is an IT person that needs to be present, they're present.
Right.
If we're unloading the machine or we're setting things up and we need multiple people, we have adequate people because we honestly do not want to have anybody get hurt during an install.
Yeah.
So, all those have to kind of come into play.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges that I remember back in my day when we were doing this is that there would always be a phone call of, you always do a pre-install. You always say,
100%.
Okay, what kind of computer do you have? Does it meet the requirements? Here are the minimum requirements if you don't have it. What kind of software? Those kind of things. Look, we're not going to help you design it. I'm not the design person. I'm the installer. I install it. I'll show you how to run the machine. I'm not here to design something for you and then do it. I think one of the challenges that I was going to go to is that there are a lot of times that we have heavy equipment. I mean, this equipment is pretty, you're a strong boy. I know that, but this equipment needs 2 or 3 people to lift it.
Yeah.
And usually you'll get that. Are you going to have somebody there at this time when I come? Yes.
Crickets.
You know what I've had to do before? Go outside, find 3 people and say, here's $20. Can you help me lift this up, please?
And I've done that, actually. I've done that at a place in Traverse City where there was a muffler place that was next door. And it was like, $20. I need some help.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So,
I mean, the I don't know about the new ones, but the previous gen Epson, I think, was just under 1,000 pounds. The S8600 was
800.
Yeah, it was
865, I think it was.
Yeah, so like 2 people aren't picking that up, right? And they really designed it so that 4 people can pick it up, and that's still a lot of weight for 4 people, right? 200 pounds off the ground by yourself is not like for everybody.
You those laminators, man. That
The
563?
Oh, 562, yes.
Oh,
man, we had to lift one of those up at a show into a box truck from the ground. There was like 4 of us, and it was still
it's
awful.
There was one. What was it's the larger of the GFPs. Is it the 563?
663 has the screen.
That has a screen.
Yeah.
And this thing had to go in an elevator.
That's another part of the installation.
The elevator, and it had to be lifted up on a corner, and it was just kind of like off to the side, and I had to go up a few floors. And again, that was like measurements probably should have been,
but a sales rep doesn't say that. He's, I gotta say,
it should fit. Yeah, it should fit in a freight elevator. I know they say that it should fit in a freight elevator, but
it's making sure they have a freight elevator though, not just a regular elevator.
Yeah. I've had people ask that too. Do you think it'll fit in the elevator? It's just like a regular. Be like, no, Like, do you want to measure it? No, I don't even want to measure it.
Nope. We had to take one past a metal detector. And that was kind of another thing where they had to scan through the machine, and then they had to, you know, the one I'm talking about. We had to take the sides off and everything. They wanted to look in it like, you know, we're trying to bring something in, and it's like, oh my gosh. And then put it all back together and then get it into a freight elevator. Yeah. So yeah, definitely like that pre-call, just try to figure out all the logistics of getting it into place. Because, you know, ultimately, if you got to contort some of these machines, especially a Roland, you got to take it off the stand. You got to carry it in with two people. You're kind of twisting it a little bit. Yeah. That could affect how it prints.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I like it when customers are up front and they say, look, there is going to be a corner here that I don't know.
Exactly.
You know, it's helpful versus, oh, no, it'll go. It'll fit.
Yeah, you show up at a surprise and you got on the fly figure it out.
Yeah, my next question I had on here goes right along with this. I said, like, how often does it actually go? Like, we talk about what's a perfect install. Right. How often does it go perfectly? The answer, I feel like, is like not as frequently as we would like. And we go through and we have a really good pre-install checklist, right? We probably changed it. I mean, I think we've changed it 6 times in the last year, right? Where it's just like, oh, this issue came up. We probably should ask about it. Yeah. But then still, like, when you ask the question, right? Like, oh, do you have a full-size door? And everyone's like, yeah, I got a full-size door. And then you show up, it's like 24. You're like, what in the world was this full size? Like, who looked at this and was like, yeah, that's a full-size door. It'll be fine. You know. But so even when you're going through to check all your boxes, like sometimes it's still just like, oh, what I said and what you interpreted weren't the same thing, right? So, and you can't send someone out to survey them all, right? Sometimes we're going 3, 4, 5, 6 hours to do them. So it's not like I'm going to drive out here and look at the space before I do it. So,
I try to give measurements, you know, I mean, the size of the machine, there are specs in the product guide, so you can give them a lot of information. And at that point in time, it's kind of, you know, hey, we said 32-inch door, and this is a 26, 28-inch door. This is a specialty door. I thought it was big enough, but we could probably take it off the stand and turn it on its side, which is, I mean, if the machine's inked up, well, then we got to do some things to make that happen. So that adds more time to the install. Yeah. So, I mean, stuff like that. If we got to turn the machine, we're not going to ink it up. We're going to make sure that we're pretty much bringing it in. And they're not going to get ink everywhere.
And I think that's a good point that you're bringing up right now is that we pre-assemble these, we ink them up, and then we deliver them. There's a lot of places that just ship the box, and then a tech is there all day putting it together, assembling it, and then they do basically one show how you load the machine, how you print. I'm gone. See ya.
Yep.
Because that's my full day install.
Yep.
So we technically don't do that. Yes, we have with certain, like you can't deliver it. So we have to basically ship the unit there and then do it. But that's rare that we do that.
Yeah, that is, you know, for the most part. And we test the machine a little bit as well. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that the customer is ready to just go. The whole point is like Roland, they offer us trouble-free, and we want that to be a smooth transition.
But we had some challenges with the Roland.
We did before. But we got to discover them at the same time with the customer, and we got to work it out with them. So it's kind of one of those things. We didn't leave them hanging. It's like, hey, here's your product. Best of luck. No, we're right there with them, trying to make it, you know, make it work, make it right. And a lot of times, there have been times where we've gone above and beyond to make sure the customer had a machine to do their job while we figured out the things in between.
Isn't it amazing that we've said this before on our podcast, but yet here we are with a tech even saying the same
that. Thing.
Yeah.
What I think is, what you bring up is a really good point, though. Like, we're trying to make this as flawless as possible, right? So when you look at what we're charging for install, right? And if an install does go smoothly, right, you could be in and out there like real fast.
Real quick.
And someone's like, so what did I pay for? I'll be like, well, we front loaded all the work, right?
Yeah,
all the work. You didn't see any of it, right? We assembled it,
calibrated
we inked them up, calibrated them. We pre-print, we test all the inks. Like, we know it's working before it even leaves. And then if everything goes well and you have the space set up, we'll roll it in, plug it in, hook it up to your computer, run the test print, and we're good and done. And it's like, well, what about all this other stuff? You're like, well, we already did everything ahead of time. That's why what you're seeing is the easy part of the work.
It depends on their level too. If they previously owned a Roland, then a lot of the steps they have on there, they already know it. Roland is making a better tool, but they're not reinventing the wheel. A lot of things are the same. Registration marks, crop marks.
VersaWorks layout as well, too, for the software.
Exactly. So it works out really well, but we don't leave without asking them, hey, I mean, is there anything else I can show you? Is there anything else that you want to go over? Do you want to try to do a workflow? Do you want to try to do something that, print your logo? Let's try to at least get you set up to where you've seen everything kind of work, even though I know you feel pretty sure on how it works. Some people are like, I am good to go. I want to get going right now.
Brings up a good point when you talked about, we want to make sure it's as trouble-free as possible, right? We talked about a third-party install doing it, right? When his job is like, I need to make sure this thing's installed. Yeah. That's all they care about. On our side, if that was all that we cared about, right? When they call with issues, that it's going to come back, like they're going to end up calling you, right? And we talk about this all the time where it's so much easier to show you something in person than it is for us. We were just talking about this a couple weeks ago with the Gerber, where it's like you have this very simple issue, except for it is so hard to explain it over the phone, right? Like if you were in person with them, it's like, click this button, here you go, you're done. But when you're on the phone, you're like, okay, go to this menu. No, not that one. This menu. No, this menu. No, this menu. And but if you're in front of it, it's super easy to explain it, right? So when you talk about something like that, where you're like, hey, we want to ask you if there's anything else you need, because that phone call is way harder than it is if I just show you right now, right? If you talk about something simple like, how do I do crop marks from roll into GraphTech, right? Something that's really not that difficult, and a lot of people overthink it. If you show it to them in person, it's 30 seconds, right? It's like, hey, go to this menu, click this button, hit the print button, slide it in. Here's how the GraphTech reads it. Real easy, right? But if you're going to show it to them over the phone, you're like, okay, it's going to get a little complicated here.
And terminology and trying to explain it for them to get the theme.
Yeah. You got to understand the level of what you're talking to a customer.
Sorry to interrupt you guys, but I just want to take a minute to talk about Nakusa, the name behind R-Tape. R-Tape's the #1 application tape out there, but they are more than just tape now. Nakusa has a full range of products out there. Their new one is called NextBond. This is a UV cured adhesive. Why does that matter? It's an eco-friendly and durable option, but comparable to most of the eco-friendly options, this is a cost-effective product. So if you're looking for an eco-friendly product or a durable product or just in general a good vinyl, NextBond is going to be the one for you. This is available at Wensco.com as well as all of their other products. So check it out at Wensco or reach out if you have any questions. Oh, and don't forget to use your Nakusa bucks. Have you heard about Metamark? Metamark is a company that sells premium graphic solutions for commercial and fleet signage. So whether that's walls or it's vehicles or it's tables or doors, we loved it so much we put it all over the podcast studio. So you can check it out on our videos or at Wensco.com.
I think I was going to bring up a point that, it's sometimes when you go in an install, well, back in my day when I went in an install, I'd always say, okay, who am I training? Yeah. The owner? No. No, thank you. He's got other things to worry about. It's like, who am I training and who's his replacement if it happens?
And that's a good point.
Because I want both of them.
Yeah.
Because one's not going to be there, and then they're going to call and say, well, you showed Bob, but you didn't show me. It's like, wait a minute.
And I always recommend to people, I don't mind if they record. I mean, I think if they record, and a lot of times shops have, people are being trained for different things. People are moving up in the company.
Different positions.
Best on their new endeavors. But a lot of times it's like if they record it, then they have it. We also, and I don't think it gets mentioned a lot, but we have Team Viewer that is on our website. You can go to Wensco.com. There's our plug.
All the time.
And yes, we do. There's our plug. And then you can basically download Team Viewer for free, and that allows us to look at your computer, and we can kind of look at things as well. Like you said, the GraphTech, if you're using Illustrator, Corel Draw, it's very easy to add the lines, and we can come in and kind of walk you through that process. So it gives us another way that we can help you out. I mean, the process is like when we install a machine, you are becoming part of that Wensco family. So we really do want to see you succeed, because if you succeed, we succeed.
Yeah. Because believe it or not, we don't want to come back out to see you,
we don't.
right? Like
we don't.
We love you guys, but we don't want to see you again, though. Really, like if we do our job right,
we want the sales rep to see you.
100%. Yeah, I just mean like we don't want to do multiple visits. We've talked about this all the time. Where we talk about like. Even like when we just brought on HP, right? And you're talking about like, how do we go through the process of deciding what to bring on, and be like, what we want from a tech standpoint is we would love to install the machine and not see you again for like at least the next 2 years, right? That would be the most ideal scenario. The machine goes in, you use it works perfectly, and we don't have to talk to you. That's the goal. Yep. Because if you're using it, we make this joke at the wrap class where I said, like, what do you think my goal is for the wrap class? And I go around and ask everybody, right? They're like, oh, more comfortable wrapping and learning how to do this, learning how to do that. And I click to the next slide and it says, my goal is for you to be comfortable buying vinyl. That's the running joke, right? But it's the same with equipment, right? My joke when we sell you equipment is that you're comfortable that you buy ink, right? That would be my joke. But it's because if you're comfortable and you know how to use the machine, it works well, it does what you wanted it to do, you're going to use it, and we're both going to make money in the end on it. That's what's nice about being in B2B. So that's kind of what it feels like is our goal, right? It's like, we want you to run your machine to death. That's the goal with this thing. Like, if you can get it, use it to death, 100%. And it works for you, that's our end goal.
Yeah, we love hearing stories where people are like, I have had the machine for a month. I've gone through 6 rolls of material.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the stories that we love hearing. I think at the same time, goal-wise, I think, I want you to be self-sufficient, but I also want you to feel comfortable calling with a question on something, a material question. It's probably going to go toward Domingo more, but a question about the machine. Sometimes we get people that say, it's like, I didn't want to bother you. And it's like, that's
then they bother us when they have an issue.
Your warranty has a finite amount of time.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that you get the most out of your warranty. And even after your warranty, we're still there to help you. So we're kind of there for you.
Yeah,
You're
I guess
part of that family.
off what Luke says too. Like, we definitely don't leave you out in the dark. With a team viewer aspect, and certain customers too, if they have iPhones, we try to FaceTime them to see visually if they have printer issues, which helps out a lot as well too.
Yeah, that's good.
I think sometimes, like, I think you should be more inclined to bug our techs on small things that come up than to just ignore them, right? Like we talk about, like with deferred maintenance on a car, right? Like if your car starts making weird noise and you're just like, just ignore it. And then like 8 months later, 8 months later, they're like, this thing's really not working. Be like, well, maybe you should have fixed it, 8 months ago, right?
But no, that's kids today when they drive their car. My kid, as you know.
But anyway, I just bring that up to say, like, sometimes like if you can catch something early, right, it's way easier to fix it than if we're catching it months down the road. We'll be like, it's happening for months, and be like, well, why didn't you tell us about it months ago? Like now it's way harder than it would have been at the beginning. So
I like it that our techs do a phenomenal job teaching the new customers on maintenance, because that's a big thing. Some printers don't need it, but some printers do need it. But I like that we teach the people how to do it, but then they come around and say, okay, now teach me how to do it, right? Tell the customer, hey, now tell me how to do maintenance, so that you'll know whether or not they got it or they didn't. But they need to learn that so that they can pass it on to somebody that's that's part-timer, that's come in to help, that they need to understand how important it is.
Oh, yeah. I have a question to add on to this, but let me start this. We have gotten so lucky in the last, 12 months at least, but probably before that, in terms of how maintenance works and how easy it is to do, right? So all the previous gen Rolands,
right?
I made videos on how to do maintenance on all of those because it wasn't real obvious, right? The machine just literally had a message that said like maintenance required.
Finish or complete. Like, just move forward.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't, what, I don't know. Am I done?
I hit enter. I guess.
And now the screen just like, if I made a video now, it'd just be, people would be like, what in the world are you even making the video for? Like it just shows you on the screen. Like it's right there. Like it tells me, do this, and you can see it. And it's like, okay, do this. Okay. Do this. Okay. Yeah. And, it's so easy. But with that has come the ability that they can pretty much track it.
Yeah, we can track it now.
Right. So you have the option to skip it, but just know that they're looking at it. So when I bring that up, like how important do you think that daily maintenance is when you guys are out, having to go out to repairs, especially on some of this like newer equipment? Do you notice the customers that do it, you're less frequent to go out to, or is it roughly the same? What do you guys see?
We kind of run into a mix a little bit. I mean, we have some customers that believe I'm not using the machine, I don't have to do the cleaning. So, they're not as busy sometimes. So they don't clean it. Like we didn't have anything for, say, the month of February, but we're going to be really busy in March. Wow. So all of February, it wasn't touched. Maintenance, there is a daily aspect. I say the minimum is every other week, make sure that you're cleaning it. If you're going to be using it fairly heavy, clean it afterwards, or have it on your schedule. You clean it every Friday. Can you clean your machine too much? No, you cannot. That's a myth. But yeah, the maintenance and maintaining it is, I would say, probably our biggest call for preventative maintenance type kits when we go out and do cleanings. People kind of wait. Well, I heard that we don't have to change wipers and felts and cap tops out for 6 months. So we just kind of figured we weren't going to clean it until we were going to have you come out and clean it. Again, you can make the job a lot easier, make the machine perform better if you're just cleaning it every other week, or on Friday, do a cleaning.
So using a razor blade to clean the felts is not a good idea.
No, probably not. Shave it down, you're talking? No.
Especially with older machines as well, too, though.
Customer do that before.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. The thing I always like to bring up is when Epson came out with their original DTG, the slogan that all of their salespeople and techs used to say is, "Oh yeah, this thing loves to run." And then I always used to make a joke that when they say it loves to run, what they mean is you better run that thing every day, right? Yeah. It was like a sales slogan that they're, and I always bring that up with equipment. Like that's what Epson used to say. But honestly, most equipment nowadays, like it loves to run, right? If you are going to run the machine, it's better for it to be running all the time than for it to sit, right? In terms of like how long it will last. Like the people that are using it every day, those machines last longer, which you think is kind of the opposite of how you look at it from like, you know, like a car, for example, right? Where it's like, oh, the less you drive it, kind of the longer that car should last long term. But I laugh because you said, oh, we're not using it, so we didn't need to do the maintenance. I think it may actually be the opposite. You can tell me if you agree, but I think if you're not using it, you actually probably need to do the maintenance more, right? Because the ink's just sitting.
The heads aren't getting exercised. You know, you're not getting ink passing through as much. It does its cleanings and everything. Yeah. You know, it's not doing the cleanings as much, but at the same time, the machine, these are production machines. They're marketed as production machines. This is not your desktop printer that you print off a resume on. These things, for the most part, are
label maker.
No, especially older machines as well, too, though, because newer machines are a little bit more forgiving. But the older machines, more the ink sits and the older parts as well, too. It just creates more problems.
Well, and older machines. And I know that there are third-party products that are made for pretty much all printers out there. But the OEM products are going to make your machine last the longest and probably run the best. You can buy third-party stuff and third-party inks for machines. But it is the OEM ink that is going to, for the most part, cause your machine to have longevity. I think the third parties are thicker and things gum up more, and there are greater issues along the lines. And a lot of people think it says hot swap, but I think the bingo knows sometimes when you hot swap inks between different brands of ink, you find out inks like to gel.
Yep, they'll gel up.
And then you have a whole nother problem.
Yeah, that brings up a really good point. And we've definitely talked about it here on before, but we talk about like third party inks, like will they work? And the answer I always give people is like, yeah, they'll probably work. I said, but the problem is the one time that it doesn't work is way more expensive than you're going to save on ink. And I don't care how cheap you bought the ink, right? Yeah. What are some stories you guys have seen where somebody moved to third-party ink and had issues with it?
We've discovered even recently that like some of the third-party inks for the TrueViz have been kind of a little detrimental. When they started running it, then they were like, oh, our color skew, because they're trying to use the rolling color system library, is no longer accurate. And then like we get a phone call where it's like, all my colors aren't right. And I'm like, okay, well, let's start with a basic question. What inks are you using? Well, I'm using Rollin inks. Okay. They say Rollin on them? Well, yeah, they say Rollin on them. All right, send me a picture. And then it's like, that's not an OEM ink. Let me send you a picture of what OEM ink looks like. Mm-hmm. And this is why the rolling color system library is no longer working for you. Yeah. So then, well, how do I get it back? Can I just swap them back and forth? Mm-hmm. That's a 60-40. I mean, you could do it and maybe not have issues, or you start to swap them back and then you start getting a gelling issue.
Here's a flush kit.
Here's a flush kit. Yes. And that's why Rollin actually came out with the head wash kits, was 100%. People are trying to go back to Rollin ink, so they recommended doing a head wash and then putting the Rollin ink back in the system. And that really is the proper way to do it. But most people are like, that's going to cost more money. And it's like, you kind of got yourself into this. You're going to have to spend a little bit of money to get yourself out of this.
Right. Yeah. You know, one thing that I forgot to mention when we're talking about maintenance, daily maintenance, we talked about how we can track it. But I think you mentioned something about a warranty that Rollin, if they don't do their maintenance, that the warranty may be
void. It's in their warranty policy that you must maintain the machine, and the aspects are a certain number of cleanings. The machine has a report basically a PEC report that we can track. Roland asked for these reports, and it hasn't been too uncommon for Roland to say, hey, you've had this machine for 18 months and you've done 2 cleanings. And one of them might have been the tech when he did the install. So, yeah, they have that ability. I mean, Roland's going to work with you many, many times, but they are going to make a point to say, hey, I mean, if you're not maintaining the machine, this might have caused the issue that you're having, and that would be caused by operator, and we have a right to refuse this warranty.
And I think that's what Amuto has it, HP has it. I mean, all the manufacturers, I think, have it now. So they're looking a little more closely at that, whether you're maintaining your machine or not, because think about it, parts do cost money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it can add up pretty quickly. So when you tell a customer it's not under warranty, whoo, boy.
Yeah.
Might as well buy a new machine.
And you always get that question too, which is, again, why I remind people, if you have a warranty and you have questions, I mean, let's talk about it sooner than later, because it's a different conversation when the warranty's out. And Roland has been pretty, I wouldn't say it's a pretty hard line. Your warranty's up.
They are.
Your warranty's up, and it's like, you're a week past. You're kind of out of luck. They're like, why didn't you call sooner? I wasn't having the issue then. Well, that's just, how things work out.
And we do sell extended warranties. So people that are out there that even if you didn't buy from us, we'll still do the paperwork.
Yeah. And warranties, I mean, you are paying for the what if, but a printhead these days, at least on our most common machines, are between $1,200 and $2,500.
Yeah, that's your warranty right there.
Yep. I guess picking back off the previous sentiment, the what if of we do our own checks here. I've heard from, I guess, competitors from the customers firsthand as well, too. It takes weeks to months to get a different tech from the competitor to come out there to even look at the machine.
Oh, yeah. The time frame is there. And
we support our machines, just so that we're clear on that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You buy it from us, we will support it. You buy it from the competitor, we will give you the 800 number to...
It's a Roland.
Yeah, because...
Oh,
you save your $200 or $500 or even $800 because you bought it from a competitor. You pay the price. It just happens.
Yeah. On the back end, it really does. And
It does.
occasionally, depending on where that tech has to come from, you might be enduring a hotel stay for the tech to stay the night, or a plane ride for the tech to get there.
Yep.
Those are costs that get kind of added into the visit. So those visits can get pretty expensive. I've heard some stories of people like, before I called you, we had a machine and we had a customer, and it might have cost $4,000 to get that tech in there to look at something that in the end really probably wasn't that expensive.
Yeah.
So
or difficult to do.
Or time-wise, it takes them 6 to 8 weeks for them to even get to the customer as well, too.
Yeah. Wow. Guys, before we leave today, I just wanted to ask you one quick question, and that is, what is a pirate's favorite application tape? R tape. R tape is the #1 application tape in the United States, and it comes with an RLA, which is a release liner adhesion, meaning it's going to stick to the liner. Even on cut graphics, if you roll it, it's not going to tunnel, wrinkle, or curl, or anything like that. So if you're looking for the best application tape for cut graphics out there, R tape RLA is for you, and you can get it at Wensco.com. So we don't have a whole lot of time, so I have 2 questions that I want to end with. So the one is, we've talked about it on the podcast before, but we talked about how we changed the way that we do maintenance on older machines. And the reason was because we were just fixing, even 24 months ago, we were pretty much fixing anything that we could attempt to fix, right? Mm-hmm. But we were ending up in situations where we would fix one part, which would lead to another part, which would lead to another part, which would lead to a part that we can no longer buy, right? So someone would be thousands of dollars in, and then you'd be like, I can't finish fixing your machine, right? So that's kind of why we changed it. What have you guys seen from fixing old machines that kind of led us to that policy change?
Well, I think a lot of it, we took a point from Roland. Roland was kind of like, hey, we have an end of support, and we have an end of support for a reason. Sometimes it is the availability of boards. At the same time, that, you're working on things on the drive section. So you replace a belt. Well, great. Now the pulleys are stressed because they have a new belt on them. So now you have bearing issues. And then from there, it could lead on into how the sensors kind of react to it, because over time, a machine kind of gets used to how it works. And now you're changing it, and you're changing an aspect. So now you're getting one of those I always call it like a gremlin error, to where it's like you can't. It's a sensor error. It's a home sensor error. It won't go away. You've done this. You've done that. You've replaced everything other than the main board. And well, there we go. There's a board we can't get. So we kind of base it on on the idea that we're also looking at what the customer's doing, their quality, and a lot of times they will point out, hey, the quality of this machine is just not like I see down the road, or with another customer, or they're outsourcing things from another business so they can get jobs done. For the dependability aspect, I think a lot of it comes down to just the cost of maintaining that machine at that age. Even the print heads for that machine, some of the older ones, they're still $1,200. They're still fairly expensive.
To me, it's to the point of you made your money. It's time to get a new machine.
Yeah.
Here's your sales rep's number.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Talk to him, please. From your guys' perspective, when do you think, maybe it's not even end of life, right? But when do you think that a customer should consider it being time to upgrade to a new machine versus kind of fix their old machine?
Well, let's say they put a machine in storage, like they thought they put it in storage. So we're going to go with that one. They had things happen, life happened, family, what have you. The machine got kind of pushed into storage and it sat. So it didn't get properly pumped down. The ink's still in the system. So we can pretty much say with some certainty that we have some pumps that are probably toast. So then you start weighing the cost of the machine versus getting into a new machine. And a lot of people have found out, I think, even if you go back 10 years ago, some of the machines that you would get, they are less expensive now than they were then.
Yeah.
Kind of a reverse when everything's kind of going up in price. Some of those XCs, those XR machines.
The XR for sure.
You'd spend 30 grand for, and now we have a great XG, which is basically the newer version of the XR that you can get for what now? 22, 23?
Somewhere in that
I think
ballpark.
we just saw like the order was like between 26 and 28 all said and done.
This is a
with the sticker
faster machine.
Yeah, faster printer,
more color,
huger color gamut.
Yeah.
I mean, everything like that has kind of been the push just on the speed and the color gamut that people are, and it's a print and cut device now. So it's like, that is kind of like people's upgrade. And kind of the direction that people have been going in. But if you can show, a customer that, hey, it just recently with an XR that, okay, I mean, what we have with this machine, I mean, you already need a print head. There's $2,500 right there. And you have a few other issues going on with it. I mean, you could probably get yourself into something new with a warranty. It might be better, I guess, down the road, future-wise, especially with the warranty and the cost of inks and everything. The inks for that machine are less expensive than the XR inks, the Max 2 inks. So it's just, the cost of maintaining that machine versus the cost of a new machine, and then the peace of mind knowing that, hey, there's a warranty on this. So you have a trouble-free year, as long as you're not violating Roland's warranty policies.
Well, I can tell you right now, if a tech told me that it's time to upgrade, I'm going to believe the tech, not the sales rep.
Yeah.
Right?
When you think about it, like they're literally collecting money to do this. Be like, listen, I don't want to come and collect more money from you. Please don't make me come back out here.
Let's set you up with a newer machine and get you up and running.
And we say it from the perspective, like, and I've heard you guys' stories on these too, where like you'll go into a customer and be like, if it was me, I would not fix this machine. I would get a new one, right? And they're like, no, I'm going to fix it. And then you fix it. And then 4 months later they call and they have a different issue. And they're like, how much is this? You're like, it's going to be another $1,500 for us to replace this part. And they're like, great. And now they're in the spot where they're kind of feeling stuck, right? It's like, well, I already put the new print head in. So now I kind of feel like I need to keep fixing it. But just know that like those repairs just get more and more and more and more frequent. The longer the printer gets in age.
And you're taking it into an older machine instead of doing it to a newer machine or to a warranty one that have more benefits to you.
Yeah.
I think people treat it like they treat a vehicle. They get an emotional attachment to a vehicle. In fact, people name their machines like they name their cars.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, all right, I've been servicing this machine for over 10 years.
Yeah.
I think it's time to unplug it.
You got to get a new girlfriend.
Yeah, you got to get a new girlfriend. I think it's time we unplug it.
She's got a sister.
We got to we need to bring Betty out back, and she needs to go and meet her maker. You know what I mean? So
when we used to do shows back in the day, when I used to do shows, when we sell the floor models, I'd always put a sticker that says, she's got a sister.
She's got a sister. I guess people talking a little bit on that one.
So, anyways, thanks guys. I appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah.
Hopefully this gave an interesting perspective to when we just blabber on about it here on there, but not from the perspective of people that are out in the field doing it. So appreciate you guys being willing to come on and talk about it.
And we
especially on
appreciate
short
everything
notice.
you do for us, to be
100%.
honest with you. You guys do a lot of work, and I know there's a lot of problems that come up, and it's just stressful sometimes, but we appreciate it. We really do.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that. There's a lot of customers that we go into the weekend, we're still kind of thinking about what they got going on, and it's like, okay, how are we going to attack this Monday to get the most out of our time?
Yeah, it lives on.
So it does.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for coming on, guys. Hopefully you hear how much, from our tech's perspective, how much we try and lean towards your guys' side and not just, whatever the easiest path for us is, right? We want to, like I said, we want to talk to you as little as possible, which may sound mean, but legitimately, if we can talk to you less, it means that we did our job right, and that's our whole goal here. So thanks for coming on, guys. We appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and have a happy new year, and hopefully you had a Merry Christmas. So
See ya.
goodbye.
Yeah.